Hi everyone, Tessa Lamping here. Hopefully it's recording now. I want to do my February recap. Now, it's technically the worst month I've had dollar-wise, but I would say educationally, it was the best month I've ever had. So, I think on January, I might have talked about how I was so close to being green for that month, but then I got caught in a couple panics, and it wiped out all my gains. And I didn't know how to tell when the stock was about to continue panicking. And um, without being able to read that level two to see if it's turning, if I got into a fake out, it was going to be the end of me. So, um, this the beginning of this month, I actually ended up being on a complete losing streak, and it wasn't completely, but um, see all. Oh, you can't. All this red on the left of my screen. By the way, I'm using TraderSync. It tracks all my trade statistics for me, especially with my crazy lifestyle being a single parent. With which my parents are watching my son right now, so that's why you don't hear him running around at the moment. But yeah, I was just loss after loss after loss. I mean, it was just insane how many losses I was having, and a lot of them were the panic dip buys. And I'm also trying a new strategy of multi-day breakouts. Now you typically have multi-day breakouts in order to the stock to be up enough for a morning panic. So for the longest time, I didn't know how to recognize the multi-day breakouts, and I finally took the time to study it this month, and I was so close to making over 55%, which I'll get into later. But a lot of these, I've every panic that I got caught in, I kept it under about 5%, except for one panic, which was what was this morning panic dip by right here, and that's simply because I was having broker issues that day. Well, I can't say it was broker issues, it was more like my internet. Um, my internet completely went out, and I couldn't get out when I tried. I wasn't getting executed, so maybe a bit of broker, a bit of internet. So I had 8% loss, which wasn't too bad because I've been downsizing too. Um, since I was having a lot of decent sized losses, and I've been talking to one of the mentors in the challenge, suggesting that I size down, so I did. And I'm so thankful because after these losses, I was able to keep them minimal. And uh, my knowledge has just grown so much. So I don't hesitate now. I can recognize when a panic is about to turn, so I can get out so quick that I can even have a profit. Otherwise, my losses are very minimal, and that's wonderful. So, multi-day breakouts, I've been learning those, like I said, and I have found my niche. So you'll see that I have OTC breakouts and multi-day breakouts. I need to I was originally tracking them with OTC breakouts, but then it's like, well, I just want to categorize them as multi-day breakouts. Maybe I could put OTC multi-day breakouts, so that way I'm not confusing myself with these, because essentially these are the exact same thing. So I'm just trying to figure out what I can call them, which will probably be OTC multi-day breakout. So that way in the future when I do listed multi-day breakouts, I can have listed multi-day breakout. Keep it simple. Also, you'll see I have OTC panic dip buy versus morning panic dip buy, which I should probably do OTC morning panic dip buy. But what I was kind of meaning for morning panic dip buy, this is right at the open. Within a couple minutes of the open, and then it panics. OTC panic dip buy, I was thinking of this as about 10 o'clock or later. like 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern time or later, because it's not right at the open, and this way I can kind of track to see, do I trade better when they're specifically morning panic dip buys, or when they're a little bit later they put in the sideways action and then panic, which I can show you what I'm talking about. Go over some charts. So sorry, they changed their ticker, TSNPD. That's right. So this is the one where I took that single. So it wasn't at 34 cents. You can see right here. So they're doing a reverse stock split, and they're doing a merger with Humble here, HMBL, which I believe TSNPD got its D on there because I think of the reverse stock split, and then it'll be HMBL, I believe, of March 26th. I read somewhere in the chat, but this is what I'm considering an OTC panic dip buy, because it didn't panic right here in the open. It panicked right here in the afternoon and then bounced. And this has so far been my favorite because I can kind of see that it's going sideways, and I just get a better read, and I don't get faked out as much, because when I see it right here, it's like, oh, that's not a very big panic. But when it went down here, it's like, oh, that looks like a pretty big panic. I can dip by it. And then I'll zoom in a little bit. So I didn't get faked out here. Nice, which I'm happy about. But I dip bought it right in here and sold right in here for a little single. And a whole bunch of other traders got that too, which was awesome. And then if I had maybe a bigger position size, I could have sold some here and then sold some up here. Still not quite sure. I'm learning. But I also had an aha moment with these. So I want the bigger panics, so that way I can hold a little bit longer, versus where I was watching LCNC, no, LTNC. I stayed away from these a lot of stocks on Friday, but right in here, I've also been looking at like morning spikes to dip by their panics on runners, which I'll get into as well. So this one was a morning spike. Mariana was swinging this, so I end up missing out on trades because I don't want to be influenced because other traders are in this, and so I was just gonna dip by this, excuse me, but I decided not to. Like I said, I didn't, Mariana said she was in this, so I didn't want the influence, but it was great because Tim talks about dip buying morning spikes. Sorry. And so I was gonna dip by this, and then maybe, sorry, I'm about to do a Discord chat with Brian. Take your time. I'm doing a video. Oops, smiley face, not RL. Yeah, so I was gonna dip by this, would have been a nice percent gain, but like I said, I didn't want the influence. But I'm learning that I want big panics so that way I can hold on longer. I'm not, let's see, SANP people were saying was a panic dip buy, which I don't recall seeing anything good. Yeah, so eventually it did, but I don't like this choppiness, so I'm also learning to be a lot pickier. So I didn't like how this was panicking, and this is a quick scalp, and a lot of times that I'd dip by these, I'd get faked out, and so there was just nothing very good, in my opinion, on, was it Thursday? But this was beautiful. But another one that I'm working on getting better, that I was talking about missing 55%, was this stock. Multi-day breakout. So it was this one. So it was breaking out above here, and then let's see, on 2/16. Oh, it was just beautiful. It ran all day. It broke out above right here, and so I was looking for it to break out above here. So I bought right there at 15:02. Now I was laying my son down for a nap, or trying to, and I didn't pay attention to this being the key support, roughly 129, 128. And instead, I figured I'd buy this and it would keep going up. I didn't even think about it pulling back, so I just bought it because it was breaking out, and then uh, my son was playing, so I was paying attention to him, didn't really pay attention to how much this would go down. I chose a random point of like 147 that it would be a key support, or where I'd sell really quickly, and that was wrong. Then I'm like 143, if it breaks 143, but then it kept going down. But I held through this, and then it just was gradually going down, so I ended up putting myself at 139. It never hit 139, because people keep telling me to put stop loss orders, and I don't understand how to do that, because every time I put an order in that's lower, I get executed above, which is usually what I want. So that's why I don't do stop loss orders, because I don't know how to do them. Anyways, I put a sell at 139. I got executed at 1399, and that ended up being a double bottom and support right here. And then it ripped all the way up to 23, and then so that was 55%, and I ended up taking 6 point something percent loss, because I didn't recognize the key supports right here. Otherwise I would have been risking off of back here, and it would have never hit my risk, and then I would have made 55% right here. The next day it ran up to the 40s. So I was in at 15:02, planning on a multi-day breakout, so I was going to hold it into the close and hold overnight, and it went to the 3.5s almost, and then eventually up to 4, or close to 4. So I missed out on over nearly 100% gain, which I would have taken it off probably around the 20s to 30%, maybe. So let me get into my profit chart. I also like to do this so that way I can just keep an eye on things. I put this in my loss tracking thing because it wasn't a big dollar loss or really a big percent loss. It was 6.86%. And with multi-day breakouts, I'm learning to adjust my size accordingly, as Tim Grattani talks about. So make sure to watch Trading Tickers, or Trading Tickers 2, which he just released, which talks about risk management, and so that's why I have a bigger loss. Morning panics I want to keep below 5% max, but with multi-day breakouts, I could have like a 20% loss. It's just how I size in, which would be a max dollar amount loss. So because I wasn't sized in properly, I didn't have a proper risk set, I put this on my loss tracking, and I only had one mistake for the entire month, technically. Well, I guess I could have about 2 or 3. I just did this real quick. But my biggest issue right now is identifying the key risks in time without that's just my biggest issue, which after a couple mistakes of that, and definitely this 55+% mistake, I now identify that, so this isn't an issue necessarily. My monthly pattern performance, so I have OTC panic dip buys where I've lost quite a bit on because I was on a losing streak and entering in too early, which I figured out how to exit really quick now, so that's not bad. Morning panic dip buy. I've profited on a little bit, had a couple big, or had some losses on it, but multi-day breakouts, there were so many of them today, but a lot of these trades, I could cut out about 3 or more of these trades because I was trying different sizing, trying to figure out what risk was, and stuff like that, so I'd get in and get out, get in and get out, until I had a chat with one of the mentors, Joel, in the challenge, and he said to follow my process and stuff like that. So what he was helping me on was cutting those losses really quickly, because getting caught in those panics really messed with my head. And so I ended up trying to take what he was advising me on for the panics and putting it into the breakouts and confusing myself. And so my losses here were a lot bigger than they should have been or needed to be. So I figured that out. I'm going to cut out the first green day overnight hold. I'm going to cut out the swizzle. This let me tell him, couple more minutes, maybe 10. So, and then this, I was going to track morning panic dip by first red day, second red day, third red day. These are just ideas of how in depth I could get this. So this was a morning spike panic dip buy, because I did that, but I tried going through my TraderSync and I didn't track that. So I don't remember which trade without going through every one of them to see which one was a morning spike then panic dip buy, which I'm going to try and track to see how well I do that. But OTCs are slowing down a little bit just because it's on the backside of the move, so I don't know if I'm going to be focusing on listed more. There's just so much going on, it's hard to focus on all of it, especially when I think I'm just going to stay in my lane with OTCs right now, even though I was 3 months profitable with listed stocks. But I don't know, I'm trying not to expand on too much. I'm just trying to zero in and just figure it out. But here's a way of getting more in depth with these to see, like, am I more profitable on the first red day, second red day, third red day. But as you'll see over here with TSN PD, I kind of quit paying close attention if it was the first red day, second red day, third red day, or whatever, because this, what would I count this, the fourth red day? But when I'm talking about first red day, I'm talking about this red day or second. And then what if it doesn't have a third, but it's the one right here? So yeah. What else do I want to talk about? I've had my biggest loss, which was $302 this month, but I wasn't keeping consistent position sizes, and I've been trying different risks and stuff like that. And so with my losing streak, I only won 35.71% of the time, which I don't like, but like I said, I was on a losing streak, but it taught me so much. My average win is still smaller than my average loss, but my average gain is larger than my average loss, so that's good. And that's also what I was talking about inconsistent position sizes and inconsistent risks. My biggest percent gain was 12.83%, which I believe was on a multi-day breakout. My biggest net gain is bigger than my biggest net loss, and yeah, so I just need to get my average winning trades larger than my average losing trades. I lost more days than I won. Winning days percent, I think my math might have been wrong. I suck at math so much, so don't go off of these statistics too much, because this is me trying to figure them out, even though I grab as many as I can off of TraderSync. They track everything for me. So if I didn't have commissions, I'd actually be up $10.81. But yeah, so total, I'm still down 1,200 roughly. I'm winning about half the time almost. And without fees and commissions, I'd actually be up $30.58, but still battling that. And my monthly report. So, like I said, down $30. This is with commissions. Without commissions, I'd actually be up a little bit. Let's see, mistakes without commissions, I'd be up. Yeah, with commissions, I'm down. Oh, sorry, without commissions, yeah, I'd still be profitable. I had some mistakes, but yeah, and I could compare win versus losses. So 249, 257. So yeah, it's a pain, but I'm getting there. So February view report. And then so without commissions included. So without commissions, I made $10.81, but I'm down 302.52. And these are a lot of the same statistics as the other thing because I got my information mostly from here. Some of the things that are confusing I did. But my biggest profit's bigger than my biggest loss. I'm winning 35%. Come back here. What do I do? There we go. So my biggest profit, 12.83%. My biggest loser is 8%. Average 15, average 25. So I did 28 total trades, 18 losers, 10 winners. Like I said, I suck at math, so yeah. So that's where it's 15.85. Loss tracking, P&L, but let's see. Oh, it's over here. Monthly trades. I had some trades. This is how I keep an eye on them. And then made 154.68, 35, more losses. So I'm getting there, just slowly but surely. And like I said, let's see, focusing on panic dip buys and multi-day breakouts. Those are going to be my bread and butter, and I'm only going to be focusing on them. And so, yep, that's just a really quick video recap. I apologize for it being so quick, but so much stuff to do. So, have great trading February, March, everyone. Thank you. Good luck to you all.